back here with Ace Attorney's Spirit of Justice once more, where we are in the investigation section for this case, but maybe getting towards the end of it by the end of this episode. I'm not quite sure. Our to-do list has been very short so far, but we investigated for a fair while and talked to Maya for a fair while already, so I'm thinking we're headed to the bazaar next to get some information on Lady Kee'ra, but it feels like the evidence that we're going to be using in this case, or at least the first trial portion, we've mostly gotten already, because we've got a fair assortment. Some notes I have that I was thinking about. I can't say precisely how just yet, but the fact that they keep mentioning that the snow only recently melted seems pertinent, especially now that the color has been brought into question, if it was red already. And that said also, I mean, I can't tell if this is just the game being a video game, but this does not look like dark blood red like Maya was suggesting to me. In my like, thinking about it, to me, anytime I've seen blood in water, it clouds, such that you can't really see through it, the level of detail you can see here. I mean, granted, I guess that would take a significant quantity of blood, but anyway. I wouldn't describe this as a dark red. It looks very light to me, I guess, as part of it. Also, I don't know if this is just for flavor, if this is somehow relevant to the case, but I noticed in editing that the Plaza of Devotion has a prayer flag missing right here. Or, you know, there's a gap anyway, whether it's missing or not. It sticks out to me because it's very clearly not that way on any other row. Like, it's very specifically, every other one that is visible is full. The other thought I had is that it makes some sense that one of the insurgents would want to frame the rebel hunter for the murder, in the hopes that the police would go after them instead, although I don't know that the police would have much luck catching a super ghost rebel hunter. Another thought I had is going back to that Inga Karkul guy. I'm not sure what his deal is yet, but whether he's just really a corrupt dude who's super fond of propelling this really unpleasant myth that all lawyers are scum and dancing is the only way to determine a person's fate. Or if maybe he's somehow part of the rebels, I don't know. Just, there's something extremely up with that dude. And your man who's over here, Pray Zeh'lot or Praise a Lot, depending on how you prefer it. I like Pray Zeh'lot because it fits with my theory that he's the killer. Reva had a line earlier about how he's very devoted in his prayer, and that's inspiring, but when we think about how he'll have to wait till after to learn about Abbot Emmy's death, it seems cruel. And I was like, oh, that's interesting, and seems unlike what I would expect her to say, so I wonder if maybe this is foreshadowing that Rafa's eventually going to enact some change into this unusual and unpleasant law system they've got going here. It was the first time I could remember seeing something where I was like, yeah, I agree, this is just, like, we're on the same page about whether or not this is a cool thing to do. And the other thing I wanted to have a look at was it only just occurred to me that this, it only occurred to me in editing, I mean to say, that this other mountain we can see is probably meant to be this one over here, right? Because we can clearly see this sort of... I was calling it like a brazier or something before because I thought that the little Miedema mark was meant to actually be like a fire, but no, it literally just looks like that as we can see it from here, and there's a big staircase going on. Like, this looks like more or less the same mountain as in this page of the thing here, and it shows the full moon as being there, and this is, like, you know, to the west of the inner sanctum, considering we're peering over the west wall here, and so the moon, I don't know, it just seems relevant that we're gonna have to consider that angle in the case. I just noticed, do these prayer flags go in a pattern? White, green, red, yellow, blue. White, green, red, yellow, blue. Is it that way elsewhere? They're not the same here. Blue, white, red, green, yellow. Let's make a mnemonic or whatever it's called. Bonnie will go really, yay! When we get this case right. Bonnie will really go yay. So this is different than the ones in the plaza. Bonnie will yay go really. Oh wait, maybe they're all random. Actually, no, these ones do keep consistently go in the pattern. No, never mind. Because there's... Okay, so it's not one loop if it is a pattern. Bonnie, yay, really, Bonnie will yay go really will Bonnie. This is the order it goes here. To that effect, though, there's clearly a blue one missing here. Anyway, what we're actually doing is going to the bazaar so we can meet some people and talk about Lady Kee'ra. Oh, this is the place we were at earlier. Right, okay. May 10th, Khura'In Bazaar. That ox is still there. Neat. I guess the bazaar is as good a place to start as any. Now, who should I... Huh? I see. So that is what a Freedom Express is. Salting her pocket internet again, I see. Mr. Wright. That sounds like... Mr. Wright! Is Miss Maya okay? I believe her, Mr. Wright. I know she didn't do it! Do you now, boy? Bokaka! Your benevolence! You mustn't trust in lawyers, you... Are you not the accused from last trial?
Oh,
What's wrong, Albie?
your benevolence speaks with,
You may speak in the vernacular, little monk. Now, what is your name?
Yes, your benevolence. I'll be your guide, your benevolence.
Know this, Albie. Your soul is only as clean or as filthy as the company you keep. I wish he'd stop insinuating that all lawyers are trash. Especially after this one saved his life. Not even the slightest, I'm sorry for almost getting you killed, and laughing about it. Really spiteful you are.
Please forgive me, your benevolence, but Mr. Wright is a very trustworthy man, and I trust him as a lawyer.
What's this?
I'm sorry! Forgive my insolence!
If a common boy such as he can place his trust in lawyers, it can only be because of my failure at the Hall of Justice the other day.
Mr. Wright, her benevolence is sunk into the ground!
She must really feel responsible for what happened in court that day. Well, let's give her some breathing room for now. I'm sure she'll be back on her feet in no time. In the meantime, should you leave an unattended teenager just, collapsed in the middle of the road, though? At least, drag her off to the side. Well, she's got Nana, I guess. In the meantime, do you mind if I ask you some questions?
Of course not! I'm always glad to help.
Thank you, Albie. This song will forever make me think of Bonnie. And doubtless the change in her beautiful, adorable face when she found out that I got her #1 inspiration convicted of murder and going to prison forever. Such a good song. Hey, Albie, I'm a lawyer. We already had this one. When we first were talking to Albie, we had none of this, I'm pretty sure. Basically nothing past the Wright's guide, I'm pretty sure. Wanna see a photo of a dead guy, little buddy? It's not a tourist souvenir, no. I probably shouldn't show you a photograph of the scene anyway. You'll probably worry it'll curse you, considering. Wanna see a threat letter? Nada. The Rebel Hunter! Let's do this. So what have you heard about the Rebel Hunter that was in the newspaper?
Everyone's overjoyed at her appearance. They say she's the modern-day Lady Kee'ra.
So they're treating this Rebel Hunter like a mysterious protector of the people, huh?
People have been on edge recently, what with that jailbreak and stuff.
Yeah, well, that wasn't from the prison on top of the inner sanctum, was it?
I sure hope they catch that escaped prisoner soon.
Escaped prisoner?
Yes, he was one of the vicious rebels that Lady Kee'ra had captured.
I was wondering if maybe this was the actual killer and they were just trying to frame this vigilante. So there's a hardened criminal loose. That is bad news. What if Nana is the Rebel Hunter?
Yes, but the Lady Modern Kee'ra is also super amazing. I mean, she takes down big scary rebels all by herself.
Yeah, that's not exactly something just anyone can do. Someone that strong could have easily overpowered and killed the High Priest. And what about that escaped prisoner, Albie? So what's the escaped prisoner supposed to be like?
They say he's a vicious fiend who serves as Dirk's right-hand man.
Oh, interesting. Dirk, as in the leader of that rebel group.
Yes, the escapee that serves as that dreadful master of the Defiant Dragons.
I know this is a super dramatic shot, but what is he actually supposed to be doing here? Just gesturing toward the ground? Soon even the ground will know the way of the dragon. Or did one of his friends fall over and he's like, here, I'll help you up. God hand to him, he looks good in a leotard.
They say the prisoner's a former soldier and that he wields a big scary knife. Rumor has it he's a cold-blooded killer to boot.
A scary knife, you say? He sounds like a really dangerous man. Sorry, so the murder happened the same night as this prisoner with a big knife showed up and no one's considering that he might be the killer of the man who was stabbed with a knife?
He is, but the police still can't find him even after an exhaustive search.
Wait, I remember hearing about a prison. There is a prison at the apex of this mountain. A prison? Way up there? Prison is at the top of the Inner Sanctum's mountain, right? How did it even break out?
No one really knows. He supposedly did it without any tools to speak of, too.
I thought people weren't allowed to be up there. How do employees of the prison, the dog is so cute, get up there without looking at the Inner Sanctum? And tradition or no, it seems like a pretty bad idea to hold such a sacred right beside a prison, right? Oh, there's a Warba'ad over here. Whack, whack, whack! I picture it having a not very imposing screech. All right, so this whole prison break thinking about it more carefully, does kind of throw a wrench in the whole plan that Zeh'lot or Zealot is the killer, but he seems so damn suspicious with how much they've been like, he was there the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, that kind of instant alibi just seems so wrong to me.
Some say he must have fallen to his death. Personally, I'd like to believe he did. Otherwise, something like that terrible incident might happen again.
Terrible incident? What was that about a terrible incident, Albie?
It happened before I was even born, but Queen Amara, the previous queen, was assassinated. And it was the rebel leader Dirk who did it.
So Princess Rafa's mother? And she's out of the picture now, is it? That would explain why she had to sink to the floor earlier, so she couldn't be here for this. Because otherwise it would be a really dramatic and traumatic conversation. The previous queen was assassinated? That's kind of unsettling.
It was the terrible deed of a heinous sinner. I mean, to take the life of such a gentle queen? Only someone with a dark, defiled soul could have done that.
They really take their queen seriously here. Like, God-worshipping level serious. It really would take someone pretty bold and blasphemous to assassinate one.
Those defiant dragon rebels are not afraid to do anything to accomplish their goals. That's why, with the escaped prisoner on the loose, who knows who might be killed next? Ruff!
So that's why the people of Khura'In are so afraid of that escapee, and why they're so cool with the rebel hunter, and why they want the rebel hunter to take him out along with the other rebels. So, is there anything else you can tell me about the rebel hunter Lady Kee'ra, Albie?
I was just thinking there was something else, but what was it? Oh yeah! Here!
What is it?
Shadow found it!
3 prongs! Ah. And an arrow! So my theory about him getting shot, and then a stab wound being placed after to cover up the very distinctive triple hole. Interesting. Because of course there's the 3 holes. I was just waiting for something with 3 prongs to start to turn up.
Shadow found it! Why, that's the Warba'ad arrow!
Feeling better now, your benevolence?
This is no time to be feeling sorry for myself, for I am the crown princess of Khura'In.
Now, let me see that, boy.
Yes, your benevolence!
It looks very much like one of the legendary weapons Lady Kee'ra once used in battle. A 3-pronged arrow. I could swear I've seen something resembling that arrowhead recently. Where did Shadow find it, Albie?
Near Abbot house.
Near the victim's house, huh? Something tells me I better look into this. Warba'ad arrow added to the court record. How interesting. This one in particular doesn't look like it's covered in blood or anything. Unless the arrowhead is normally not that color. Albie, can I ask you to take me to the High Priest's house?
Yes, of course!
Come to think of it, he was married, wasn't he? And his wife is the one who usually plays the part of Lady Kee'ra on the purification rite. I should probably talk to her too. Gently though, please. Any thoughts about this arrow, Albie, before we carry on? So that bird over there is a warba'ad, right?
Yes, but they're endangered now.
I wonder how many of them were killed to make this arrow.
Oh, would you like me to explain, sir?
No, that's okay. And before we do go to Inmi's house, do you have any thoughts about the arrow? What does it say to you, huh? That is the Warba'ad arrow. I don't see the connection between this arrow and a Warba'ad, though. Well, you just seem to imply that you think they were killed for the feathers. The feathers of a Warba'ad were used in its fletching, and its design was also inspired by the official bird of Khura'In. Oh, you were about to explain all that without Nana. What did you just say? Nothing. Never mind. I can't ever keep my big mouth shut. To be fair, usually your big mouth saves other people. High Priest's house, off we go. Hello, ma'am. Sorry for your recent loss. Why do you have a photo of this guy on your wall right next to... He's not the king, but that looks like the queen, right? Why would they have the photographs beside one another? Or no, wait, yeah, maybe that's not the queen. I thought it was. Holy crap, are those actually the stairs that we climbed to get up to the inner sanctum? And who's that? This place is just like spilling clues out of every corner, Steel Samurai. It's like a wanted poster here, bed of spikes, something in the garbage here. That looks pretty sketchy. Oh, is this maybe where they ensconced the robe and incense or whatever? So this is where the High Priest lived. Sorry, May 10th, the High Priest's house. Wait a minute. This is where they brought me when my back gave out. And the woman in front of that altar, she must be the High Priest's wife. I guess I don't want to look around at anything else before saying hello. Excuse me. Beh'leeb. Beh'leeb in me? Yes. May I help you? I was hoping to speak with the High Priest's wife. Are you her? Please forgive the intrusion, Lady Beh'leeb. Oh my. Your benevolence. Please, be at ease. What a terrible time this must be for you. I owe much to your husband. You have my deepest sympathies for your tragic loss. You honor me with your kind words. Look, dear, the royal priestess has come to visit us. Yes. What's that? Oh, of course. She's talking with his funeral picture. Sorry, I know that's pretty sad and dark, but that's really funny that she lifted up the veil to kiss it. My husband, too, is delighted with that the royal priestess has graced us with her presence. You can speak with Abbot in me. No, I don't possess the power to speak with the dead, but I can feel his presence. What's that? No, that can wait till later, dear. She's definitely speaking with him. So, your benevolence, what is it that brings you to my humble abode? This lawyer is investigating your husband's death, and I am watching him to ensure he does not tamper with any of the evidence. I know this must be difficult, but could I ask you some questions? A good friend of mine has fallen under suspicion, you see. A friend of yours? So then, you must be Maya's friend from the States, correct? That's right. I'm sorry, but I'm still grieving. Isn't that right, dear? Yes, I know. Abbot and me and his wife were one of the closest and most loving couples in Khura'In. If she is not ready to talk, I will not allow you to press her any further. She did just lose the love of her life. It would be incredibly insensitive of me to force answers out of her right now. But I need to talk to her if I want to learn more about the High Priest. Plus, there's the Warba'ad arrow that Al found near the house. There's too much I need to find out for me to just leave just yet. Would it be okay if I stayed here for a little while? Barbed head? Have you not been listening to a word I said? Look, your benevolence, I'm sorry for her loss, but I'm running out of time. So what I will do is promise to leave if she doesn't change her mind. Please, let me talk to my husband about this. Yes? I know. No, don't. Not in front of the royal priestess. Now, if you would excuse me. What the heck were they even talking about? And what are you going to go do with that painting? Uh-oh. You have but poured salt on her wounds. This is precisely why you lawyers are so despised. I was just trying to help Maya's case. I didn't mean to hurt Mrs. In me. Could it be that you actually possess a conscience? Of course I do. But I'm also desperate for information. So what do you plan to do now? Pass the time by looking around the room, I guess, and see if she changes her mind. Just see that you do not touch anything you should not. Guess I should watch what I touch then, just in case Princess Rafa gets mad at me. No other reason. Oh, I can also talk to her. Hey, but what would you do in my situation? So, what next? Let me think. Oh, I know. Dare I ask? Admit the accused's guilt so we can go straight to the inevitable guilty verdict. That will solve everything. Why did I even ask? I think I'll just keep on investigating. That woman you call Maya Fey is not to be trusted. You call Maya Fey. I hear she is already 28, and yet she is still as antsy as a maiden in her teens. Meaning what? Surely she must be hiding something. Actually, that's just Maya being Maya. Antsy, if you say so. She's very energetic and ganky, I suppose. I wouldn't have described it as antsy. A painting of the Holy Mother? What a magnificent altar. Of course it is magnificent. It is for the Holy Mother, after all. The Holy Mother. Is she that faceless figure there? Such insolence! How do you not know who Her Holiness is on sight? Do you seek to cross over into the Twilight Realm right this instant? Sorry, it won't happen again. This is why lawyers are so despised. The other reason. Now listen well. Depicting Her Holiness's face is the greatest taboo in all of Khura'Inism. There are none alive today who know what her face really looks like. And that includes the members of the royal family. Wow, now there's an unusual custom. It's gotta be one heck of a secret if even the royal family can't know what she looks like. No joke. This looks like a wastebasket. Hey, there's an envelope sticking out. Oh, 3 holes in it. There are 3 holes in a row near the top. Where have I seen holes like this before? Scrounging around in other people's garbage like some stray dog. You are a pitiful creature indeed. What does it say here? Say what you will, but I've got a job to do. It says to the High Priest. You cannot even read. You are even more pitiful than I had thought. Thanks. And I will keep your words of wisdom in mind, your benevolence. Guess I should have studied some Khura'inese before I came. So the envelope was addressed to the High Priest, huh? But it's empty. Still, there's something about it. I better hang on to it. What, just take it? Sure. An envelope addressed to the High Priest, there's no return address, and 3 unusual looking holes are punched into it. I like how the 3 of them are basically like right back to back. It's like, here's the letter that was stabbed, here's the arrow that stabbed it, and here's the envelope it was in. Here's a wanted poster for 3 million Damas or something, I guess. Oh, it's a wanted poster for the rebel escapee everyone's talking about.
What? Let me see that.
What happened to not touching stuff? That's Sarabal. Senior member of the insurgent leadership is and former paratrooper of That's our ball. That's our ball? Airball? That's airball. That's horrible! That's horrible. I don't know. That's horrible! Senior member of insurgent leadership and former paratrooper of a foreign land. Wanted for crimes against the kingdom. Considered armed and dangerous. 2 earrings, good to know. I don't know why, his eyebrows remind me of Apollo's a bit. So he's ex-military, huh? This is Apollo's real father. His appearance alone exudes menace. He must be captured at once. Mentions a sizable reward. Is something wrong? The bounty is 3 million Damas, money that comes out of the people's tax payments. I shall have it lowered to about 1 million Damas. You seem unexpectedly concerned with the people's welfare. Well, let me say words that exist. You seem unexpectedly concerned with the people's welfare. Unexpectedly? How rude! Nina has always taught me that kingdoms that do not value their people come to ruin. Ha! As crown princess, it is only natural that I cares for my people. How about sending some of that kindness this way? Well, I suppose I could. If you quit being a lawyer and paid taxes to our kingdom, that is. Oh well, it was worth a shot. This game looks kind of like checkers or chess. You mean to say you have never heard of Catch them all? Oh, catch them all, I guess. I have heard people describe it as Khura'inese chess. So 2 players take turns moving their pieces in a bid to capture the other's king. Not quite. In Catch them all, the object is the utter annihilation of your opponent. Furthermore, each piece is a special move that can only be used once per game. Special moves? Sounds like a game right up Maya's alley. There's a steel samurai patch on this bag. I guess the bag must be Maya's. She probably left it here while she was performing that rite. Oh yeah, that makes a lot more sense than whatever I was thinking. Interesting, we have nothing to say about this photograph here. Is this a piece of art of some sort? Looks kind of like the other eye, the eye in the Phoenix, doesn't it? Or the Phoenix, the Warba'ad statue. What a beautiful orb. Is something the matter? Barbed head, take 1 step back. Okay, done. Did you spot something? Yes, your dismal reflection. It was ruining the orb's beauty. Did you have to put it like that, your benevolence? I do appreciate that he's still being polite enough to refer to her as your benevolence this whole time. In spite of how... I mean, I guess it would just be petty to be like sassing a 14-year-old about that. A poster of the mountains? Oh, interesting. These are the relative heights, so this one's 12 meters above. Oh man, those stairs looked way steeper in the when the photograph was zoomed out. Is that meant to be a warbot up there? It doesn't really look like the same... It doesn't have the long neck of one. It's more like an eagle or a hawk. Is it a rainbow? Oh, it's a lens flare. I don't know if it's merely because this is like an artist's impression, or if this was like this is a painting. They said a poster. Well, it's not sure if it's a painting or a photograph. But in here, it's like you can't see the bird statue nor the 4 lanterns, which is kind of interesting. I wonder what these characters mean. Oh, the Inner Sanctum mountain is featured against those other towering peaks. Those beautiful mountains are known as the Roof of Khura'In. Ah, and I see they have even included Mount Pony Pony in that poster. Mount Pony Pony? Is it the smaller peak to the left? Known as the Little Sanctum. It is just west of the Inner Sanctum. Is it not also beautiful? But I suppose a lawyer with a defiled soul such as you could not perceive such beauty. No, that's not true. I think it's absolutely stunning. Interesting. I'm sure that 12 meters a difference will come into play somewhere. Here I was going, oh, I'm sure we've got enough evidence now, but look at all the stuff we've gotten from this place alone.
It's a TV!
What? I turned stuff on when I wasn't supposed to touch anything. What show is this? It is the Plumed Punisher, warrior of Neo-Twilight Realm. Oh boy. It's kind of like a weird version of the Steel Samurai thing that's awesome. Or sorry, the Nickel Samurai, whatever we're calling them now. It is based on Lady Kee'ra and is the #1 action hero show in Khura'In. Plumed Punisher, warrior of Neo Twilight Realm. Okay, granted, that looks pretty cool. Yes, it is an entirely original show created right here in our kingdom. I'm not so sure about its originality, given its overall look and that theme song. Is something the matter? Well, it's just, we have an action hero show back home that is really similar to this. I'm guessing this show is why Maya's so into that Lady Kee'ra. Honestly, the theme song is exactly the same as the one from Maya's favorite show. The Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo Old Tokyo. It's a popular action hero series filmed right in LA. Set in a city known as Neo Old Tokyo, it pits the Steel Samurai in mortal combat against his nemesis, the Evil Magistrate. Maya's collected DVDs and merchandise from that series as long as I've known her. And I think you got into watching them a bunch when you were hit by a car. Is that not right? And Edgeworth is a big fan as well. The Plumed Punisher originated here in Khura'In. Is that clear? Barbed head? Yes, Your Benevolence. Note to self, never suggest that again. Lady Beh'leeb has not had a change of heart, and simply waiting shall not change that. Can't I wait just a little longer? I wonder if she'll ever open up. Oh, you're still here. Lady Beh'leeb! Mrs. and me, do you think you're ready to talk? Is it okay with you, dear? Yes. Yes, I will let him know. Lady Beh'leeb, you don't have to speak to this lawyer if it is not your wish. No, it's quite all right. If my husband was still with us, he would say... As much as it pains me to have my lovely wife speak on such matters, if it would help to find the truth, then ask whatever you may. Okay, I'll take you up on your generous offer. Wait, did Mrs. and me call herself lovely just now? Well, whatever are you waiting for? Ask your questions quickly so your departure may be just as swift. Yes, of course. Sorry, I didn't feel like there's an exam and I wanted to... I've already searched here, I'll say to your face, but it never hurts to take another look around. Just wanted to feel like I didn't get a chance to look at these. Isn't this that Justice Minister I met? Who's the woman in the picture next to him? She looks really important. Could she be the Queen of Khura'In? That's what I thought as well. Okay, that was all. Just wanted to check that. Sorry, I'm a lawyer. What is that badge for? It's the attorney's badge used in my country. Yes. I agree, dear. My husband says I should have nothing to do with lawyers. It's not like we topped the popularity charts back home, but come on. Can't a lawyer get a break? I think I probably shouldn't show her this, or really this. Excuse me. Yes, dear? That's right. She's so focused on her husband she couldn't care less about this. I'll just skip right over these two. The flags that he donated? Nothing there. At least I can ask about the envelope now. No, I can't. Why, that is the escaped criminal who has all of Khura'In astir. When I think how he might still be lurking about, I get so scared I can't sleep at night. I don't blame her considering she just suddenly lost her husband. Yes. Really, dear? My husband said he would protect me if that escaped criminal shows up. By protect, does she mean she'll pummel the escapee with her husband's portrait? Because I would pay $3 million to see that. Right, that's all there. By the way, you've probably been added, haven't you? Oh, I see, that's Pare. That's what that photograph is of. And we've got, who knows? So Pare is an apprentice priest living in the High Priest's house. He's like part of the family. A strange guy, you can't see his face on account of his beard. Pretty suspicious, if you ask me, and then believe in me. Widow of the victim, she usually plays the part of Lady Kee'ra in The Purification Rite. An 11-year age gap. Interesting. It's a bit unusual, she's almost Maya's age, which I wouldn't have expected. But your husband, trust in me. Do you have any idea why your husband might have been killed? Was he acting different or doing anything out of the ordinary lately? No, I don't recall anything of the sort. This is really difficult. Did anybody have a grudge against him? He was a kind man and one of peace. He would never do anything that would cause someone to bear a grudge against him. Except for all this stuff that he did. These are psyche locks. This means Mrs. and me is trying to hide something from me. This is the Magatama Maya gave me all those years ago. Is this the first time we've used that in this game? No, can't be, right? Wait, no, maybe it is. It has a really amazing power. I guess so, because he's explaining it. It reacts when someone is hiding something, and allows me to see the psyche locks that are holding that person's mind shut. Whenever I see any, I only have to present my Magatama to try and unlock them. Unlocking them all usually allows me to coax the truth out of someone. Let's give it a go! I assume we have all we'll need for it. There seems to be evidence that he had, like, a letter on him or whatever, like a threat letter. The High Priest! Psyche locks. They appeared when I asked her whether anyone held a grudge against her husband. That must mean that Mrs. Emmy thought of someone who just might have such a grudge. Let's just stir the pot a little and see what happens. Mrs. Emmy, I have an idea who your husband's real killer might be. And that would be Maya, would it not? No, of course not. It has to be someone with a motive to kill him. This is who I believe had a reason to kill your husband. Oh, well, we have, like, hints around this matter, and he's mentioned Lady Kee'ra a number of times, so I probably shouldn't overthink this one, because we actually have evidence that, well, supposedly Lady Kee'ra told him not to do it. I guess that's what he's getting at. It was the rebel hunter disguised as Lady Kee'ra. Everyone's talking about her. Oh boy. I know not of what you speak. Really? Because she even made the front page recently. I am but a humble servant of Lady Kee'ra. What reason would she have to kill someone as insignificant as I? Actually, I have something that just might show why Lady Kee'ra would kill Abbott and me. I imagine the warning letter is what we're talking about here. Take that! This is a letter of warning from Lady Kee'ra. Maya found it. It was in the inner sanctum, and only Maya and her husband were there at the time. This letter reached its intended recipient, your husband, the High Priest, didn't it? And how do you know Maya wasn't lying to you? Because I've never seen that letter before, and I doubt my husband ever did either. Sorry, but I have evidence that proves this warning was meant for your husband. Take that! What's that? It's an envelope, addressed to the High Priest. The warning letter was delivered to your husband inside this, wasn't it? What nonsense is this? How can you prove that the warning was delivered in this envelope? There's gotta be some way to prove it. Wait a second. Don't the envelope and the warning letter have something in common? I think there just might be something that links the envelope to the warning letter. There is? Yes, and that proof is right here on the warning letter. This spot on the warning letter proves that it was delivered in that envelope. Mooski! Oh, nope, sorry. Mooski! Skadoosh! I'm glad they don't damage you in this game for out-of-court shenanigans. Although I did like the implication in the original trilogy that everyone's faith in you in court is somehow directly tied to the intactness of your soul. The 3 holes in the envelope are in the same shape and arrangement as the holes in the warning letter. And if you fold the letter in thirds and place it in the envelope, the holes line up. As for what made the holes, I believe it was this. Take that! They were made by this Warba'ad arrow, one of the weapons favored by Lady Kee'ra. The warning was folded in thirds, placed in the envelope addressed to the High Priest, and delivered to your husband on the points of this arrow. Sorry. Unlock successful! Let's hear it then! Are you ready to tell me the truth now? I admit the warning was sent to my husband. But he was not an insurgent. Then why did you keep it a secret? Because the authorities might have suspected him of being one if I hadn't. I guess that makes sense. And there's no one who would defend him, right? If the rebel hunter was after him, I can see how people might at least suspect. We are a Khura'inist kingdom. As such, rising up against the monarchy is the same as blaspheming Khura'inism itself. Your husband was a devout priest of Khura'inism, and you feared that his good name would be tarnished if the warning went public. Yes. That makes sense, but is it the honest truth? What if the High Priest really was a rebel? The rebel hunter would have had a motive to kill him. Still. This just doesn't feel like the right time to ask her about it. Yeah, no joke! But the warning, though. Could you tell me a little bit more about the warning? It arrived about 3 days before the purification rite. When we woke that morning, it was already there by the side of our bed. It was by the side of your bed? Yes. We had the whole house locked up tight, and yet someone still managed to slip in. Oh, it was so frightening, wasn't it, dear? As in someone who might have already been there, as in Pray Zeh'lot? But you didn't contact the police, because you didn't want them to suspect your husband of being a rebel. I'm also sort of assuming whoever this Lady Kee'ra rebel hunter is someone sort of younger and of able body, if they're, like, incredibly athletic. And this guy's younger than me, so perhaps he could be the rebel hunter, but Anyway, but you didn't contact the police because you didn't want them to suspect your husband of being a rebel? That's right. If only we had told the police, maybe Trust would still be alive today.
Oh, lovely wife, no need to fret, my dear. My only regret is that I left you all alone.
Barbed head! That is quite enough! Yes, you're probably right. Mrs. and me, I'm sorry to have bothered you at such a difficult time. Don't be silly. I'm happy if I have helped. And so is Trust, I imagine.
Your benevolence, may you swiftly shine light upon the truth.
Barbed head. You seem bent on casting suspicion upon Lady Kee'ra. And by doing so, you seek to deflect the blame from the real killer, Maya Fey. That is the only logical conclusion. I'm in no position to disprove her at this point. If only I could find something to support my theory that the High Priest was a rebel. The only other person who might know more about Abbot and me would be Maya. At this point, I'm just more interested to see what the seance reveals. They might be done questioning her by now. Maybe I'll stop by the detention center. Yes, go on. My mother has said... What? It seems I must go. Did something happen? Yes. My mother has decreed that a rite shall be held for the High Priest's passing, and that she shall conduct the prayer of lament therein. Her Eminence has so decreed, has she? Oh, but she should not concern herself with a humble priest like my husband. No, it is only natural, considering his meritorious service. The rite will be held at the palace. You are to accompany me there at once, Lady Beh'leeb. Thank you, Your Benevolence. My husband is most delighted too. I can tell! I love she's got different, slides for it. That's hilarious. How wonderful for you, Mrs. and me. A direct decree from the Queen. That must be quite an honor. So she's not dead. I was wrong. Barbed head, you are coming as well. Huh? But I don't have much time left to investigate. As the one charged with monitoring you, you must remain within my sight at all times. Besides, it will take but a moment. Now, come along. I don't believe that for a second. I think it's going to take 2 days straight. Ugh. Arguing that point would probably just make things worse for me. Dang it, I really thought we were going to get the chance to talk to Maya face-to-face there without her. Better let her have her way this time. Oh, indeed. May 10th. Garan Palace. Audience Chamber. I think it'll be my first time in a palace in one of these games. Oh, sure enough, there's the lad. So you're Rafa's? Oh, sorry, she was speaking. I didn't see what that was. I didn't realize it was going to be like that. You're Rafa's paw, are you? Interesting. And you're her ma. So this is the Queen of Khura'In. Welcome, Lady Beh'leeb. What is wrong with you, Bardhead? Show some respect. Huh? Oh, should I bow or prostrate myself? No, it is quite all right. Stay as you are. Mother. Your Eminence, I would like to give thanks to you. You honor both me and my husband. His exemplary service deserves to be honored. Oh, but what a terribly trying time this must be for you, Lady Beh'leeb. May my prayer comfort your soul and that of your dearly departed husband. Nothing would please me more. Oh, Your Eminence, your words are wasted on my humble husband and I. Oh, that's what I call a commanding presence. So, you are the lawyer of whom my daughter speaks. Yes, Your Eminence. I'm so very honored to make your noble acquaintanceship. I am humbled to bask in your resplendence. Did I ever do it? I have no idea how to talk to a queen. May the Holy Mother's blessing be upon you. Now then, Lady Beh'leeb, let us go to the Chamber of Prayer. Rafa, you are to accompany us too? Yes, Mother. Wow, the Queen is seriously something else. The Prayer of Lament, huh?
Prayer of lament, huh? Don't see how that'll do any good.
It's Justice Minister Inga.
Who are you, buddy?
Nice to see you again, Minister Inga.
Again, have we met?
I'm Phoenix Wright. We met in the accused lobby the other day.
Oh, right, blue suit, jagged hair. You're that lawyer who brought my daughter down a peg or two.
Your daughter?
Yeah, Rafa.
He's Princess Rafa's father? So he's Queen Garon's husband?
You plan on sticking your fat nose in this mess, too?
The accused is a good friend of mine. Like I said the last time.
Like I said the last time, you better watch yourself, see?
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
You want to question me?
That would be great.
You got balls for a lawyer. Guess I can play along for a bit. But I got things to do, see, so we'll have to talk while I work.
If you insist. Hey, I'm a lawyer, by the way.
Where do you get off sticking that thing in my face? You forget who you're dealing with? Don't poke your nose where it don't belong. Or do you want a spot on my execution list?
No, I'm good. I better end this conversation now before I really rub him the wrong way. Let's just check if any of this has anything you can say. Didn't expect we'd be ending up in a palace. Holy crap. Is someone else gonna get murdered while they're off doing this, and we're gonna have like a double murder? Nothing there. Who have you both been added to the record? Neither of you have.
Hey, keep your paws off that stuff over there. It's all pretty pricey. More than you could possibly imagine, I'd wager.
Yeah, I better keep my hands to myself. No examining here, then, I guess. This incident. Fair enough, because it doesn't seem like there's going to be much case pertinent to look at anyway. I wanted to let you know that I'll be the defense lawyer on this case, too.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you. You only won last time because that idiotic prosecutor filed false charges.
You only won because you were right. Thanks. Really, really sick burn, man.
What is going to be different this time? I got Khura'In's top prosecutor on this one, see?
I don't care who I go up against. I'm going to prove my client innocent.
You haven't forgotten that little thing called the Defense Culpability Act, have you? Blow this one, and you'll suffer the same fate as the accused.
How can I forget?
You lawyers are all the same. You strut your stuff till the DC Act comes down hard, then you start begging and pleading for your lives. It's really hard to watch, I tell you.
Well, I don't plan on letting it come to that. But I mean, I'll beg for my life if it comes to that. Were you the one who wrote the Defense Culpability Act?
Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. What's it do ya? Either way, as Justice Minister, I'm going to enforce the thing.
It started as a way to counter the dirty tricks of your trade like falsified evidence. I don't really see how that helps. Well, I mean, it just removes defense attorneys from the equation altogether.
But it turned out to be quite handy. Efficient, even.
Handy? Efficient?
Yeah, it made my job real easy. Any goons who cross me or the Khura'In administration are going to get just what they deserve, especially those rebel scum.
You can get away with that here?
Better watch your mouth, lawyer. I enforce the law in Khura'In, see? And being that I'm the Queen's husband, that makes me king.
No, I'm pretty sure the Queen is the boss around here.
Go on, say what you're thinking so I can charge you with lese majesty.
I can't get myself arrested now.
Listen up, lawyer. We've got a low crime rate and a populace that lives in peace. And that's all thanks to the DC Act, so I don't want to hear any more lip about it.
But I can't defend my client unless I can speak my mind.
Even without the DC Act, Dirk and his insurgent scum buddies' days are numbered.
What's that supposed to mean?
Let's just say I got a little trick up my sleeve, so I'd watch it if I were you. 'Cause you got a defiant attitude, like one of them dragon dupes. Service, please. Say, White, you know what these are?
No, what? Execution orders?
Orders of oh my god! That's so messed up! Orders of execution? They really pile up if I start slacking off!
What?
And tomorrow I'll have even more work to do processing the one for your little friend. And if you really do defend her, I'll have to add one more to the pile for you. But you're not stupid enough to waste your life on that criminal, are you?
Oh, he's not gonna like you saying that. Don't worry. I'll make sure to lighten your workload, Inga. I won't give you a single execution order to sign tomorrow. I'm back! Why is the energy so weird in this room? I have returned, Barbed Head. Your benevolence. Are you done with the rite? Yes. It was performed flawlessly. Lady Beh'leeb stayed behind to speak with Mother. I hope this will help ease her sorrow, if even just a little. So, you have been speaking with my father? Yes, you could say that. My father is a great man. He works tirelessly to keep the peace in our kingdom. Khura'In, as it stands today, owes everything to the efforts of my mother and father. You should feel deeply honored. And why don't I? Under normal circumstances, they would have never spoken so readily with a lawyer. Yes, of course. It seems Rafa doesn't know what her father is really like. Well, now that we're done here, let's go see if I can talk to Maya now. Yes, let's. Oh, man. I feel bad for Rafa. This game is gonna, throw her whole worldview into question sooner or later. This has got to be the last conversation we have before the trial. May 10th detention center, since it's basically forcing us around here at this point. We're not even getting to move.
Oh, it's you, Nick!
Maya, are you okay? The questioning wasn't too harsh, was it?
No, I'm alright. How about you? Make any progress?
Well, I haven't found any conclusive evidence that could prove your innocence, but I have a small lead.
Really?
But for right now, I'd like to ask you about the High Priest.
Sure, ask away. By the way, what's the princess doing with you still, Nick? Doesn't she have anything better to do?
Doesn't seem like it.
I heard that! How rude! Of course I have many other things I could be doing!
But you're not gonna. Oh, we can still move all of a sudden. Let's just add everything past the warning. Just try showing it to her. Nada.
Let's chat, Miss Maya!
The High Priest! It's just a thought, but do you think the High Priest could have been a rebel?
A rebel? Why would you even think that?
Because if he was, then the rebel hunter, Lady Kee'ra, would have had a motive to kill him.
What?
Uh-oh. Princess Rafa overheard me.
What idiocy is this? Abbott and me a rebel? It is beyond the pale. My mother has offered the prayer of lament to his soul. That is the sort of person he was.
All right. I was just raising the possibility.
I will not listen to such tomfoolery!
She stormed out. Well, nothing we can do about that. Do you recall the High Priest doing anything suspicious?
Come to think of it, he seemed unusually restless during the rite. He kept glancing up at the sky, though I have no idea why.
He was restless and kept looking up at the sky? Huh. That doesn't really tell us much, does it?
Doesn't it? There was a prison up there!
Anything else come to mind?
Sorry, that's about it.
Guess this is all I'm gonna learn about the High Priest right now. Oh, just kiss already. It'll make you both feel so much better. Oh, but there is one thing I should follow up on. Now that Rafa's gone, yeah. Why is it that she wants to keep that a secret?
I want to keep my spirit channeling ability a secret while I'm here, Nick. What? Why? I'll explain later.
With Princess Rafa gone, this might be my only chance. Channeling! Maya, about what you said earlier. Why can't you tell anyone you're able to channel spirits? Except for the guard, I guess, because we're speaking about this. And there's no other sound around that would make it so that they go near us.
Oh, that! You know how all the queens are also spirit mediums here?
I heard. It was kind of a shock at first, though. Oh, they won't like you channeling spirits because they'll think you're trying to usurp the queen, maybe?
In Khura'Inism, spirit channeling is a secret art that can only be performed by the queen. No one else is supposed to be able to do it.
I see.
So she is queen! I always knew it.
I see. So spirit channeling is a symbol of power or authority then, in that sense. There were a few people who could do it back home in the States. I can see why it would look bad if nobody from another country were able to do it, too.
Spirit channeling in the Khura'In tradition was developed from a Khura'Inist style that was brought to the US via Japan. But it seems like my clan's spiritual power is greater than that of the average Khura'inese.
Huh.
It may be a quirk due to how our styles diverge, but I don't really know.
So if spirit channeling is a power possessed only by the queens of Khura'In, and it's a power that somehow made its way down the line to Maya, then I guess that makes Queen Garan and Princess Rafa distant relatives of Maya's?
Anyway, it's not like there's some kind of rule about it. It's just, I'd rather not have it become an issue or anything. Probably a good instinct. That's why mediums who come here to train hide the fact that they can channel spirits.
I see. I had no idea it was so complicated.
Either way, training here is a must to fulfill the qualification needed to become the master. Man, I'm seriously glad I didn't blab my mouth about it at any other point before we got to see each other again.
And what is this qualification to become the master?
To be able to channel spirits of one's own volition and without fail every time. Like, remember how my spirit channeling was always hit or miss? I only ever succeeded about 30% of the time. I would have said it was more like 70.
Yeah, and it was more like spirits possessed her as opposed to her channeling them. So you can do it every single time now, whatever you want.
Yep! Yeah, at least I think.
You think?
Well, I haven't actually tried channeling anyone since I completed my training here.
Because you need someone dead, yeah.
But once I get back home, I plan on taking the final spirit medium test. I'll have to try channeling one spirit after another in a marathon channeling session.
Only those who pass the test are worthy of becoming the master, huh?
Yeah, but
I know I can do it. I believe that you can. I'm going to ace that test and become the next master. An ace medium, exactly. After all, I can't let my clan and the other villagers down. Right. Maya's the next big hope of Khura'In village. It's got to be a lot of pressure. So, speaking of similarities, I've noticed another similarity between our countries, besides spirit channeling. I saw a show on TV earlier that reminded me of the Steel Samurai. Oh, you must be the Plumed Punisher, warrior of Neo-Twilight Realm. Yeah, I'm surprised the conversation went here, but... So you've already seen the Plumed Punisher? You really don't miss a beat. Actually, it was her benevolence who told me all about it. Oh, she's back? There's not a single person in Khura'In who does not know of it. Oh, your benevolence, you're back. As the royal priestess, I am charged with monitoring your movements. So I have changed my mind, for in order to fulfill my duty. I must not avert my ears, not even from your blasphemous theories. Her sense of duty is commendable, but I wouldn't mind if she backed off a bit. Great timing, your benevolence. There's actually something I wanted to show the both of you. Show off. Maya sure seems excited all of a sudden. Yep. Ta-da! What's that? It's a little figurine of the Plumed Punisher. It's an ultra-rare Plumed Punisher strap! There's only one of them in the whole world! It was specifically made to promote the TV show. You're the owner of this strap? Don't tell me. You're a Plumed Punisher fan too, your benevolence? No, of course not. Only little children watch that show. I have no interest in such things. Right. No, I'm telling the truth! Sure, let's just leave it at that. So how did you get your hands on that, Maya? I found a kindred spirit and a Plumed Punisher fan here in Khura'In. It resulted in an exchange of cultures, transcending national borders. So you gave them some kind of Steel Samurai thing? And by cultural exchange, you mean you swap TV show promo merchandise? You bet! I traded my Steel Samurai watch for this strap. It's a super rare watch that plays the Steel Samurai theme song when the alarm goes off. My newfound Khura'Inese friend was so happy, I got this one-of-a-kind strap in return. I guess there are people like that wherever you go, even here in Khura'In. They're being so careful not to mention the name. I'm assuming it was someone she was staying with, which basically leaves believe in me, trust in me, or praise a lot. Watch this! When you press the Magatama on her belt, it plays the show's theme song! That sounds just like the Steel Samurai theme song. What are you talking about? Can't you hear the folk instruments in the intro and the exotic tones throughout? Plus, the Steel Samurai has Japanese taiko drums that go in the intro. If you say so. Is that going to become relevant in this case somehow? Oh, well, I guess these things could have sounded. If it turns out the person she got it from was trusted me or something. Huh. Right. I guess my ears just aren't as good as yours. Anyway, I have this amazing idea for a new show. The Plumed Punisher versus the Steel Samurai. I would watch the hell out of that, to be fair. I'm going to totally go pitch it to some TV stations when I get back home. Just avoid take two, if you will, please. It's going to be a huge hit! Right, Benevolence? I have no interest in such things. She sounds so hyped for it. I'm sure she would love it. Well, if nothing else, talking about the Plumed Punisher has, thankfully, seemed to cheer Maya up a bit. It's getting late. Try to get some sleep, okay, Maya? And leave tomorrow to me. Okay. Thanks, Nick. They didn't even kiss. I think I've covered just about everything. Time to head back to the temple and go over everything I've learned so far. Oh, but I'm still able to talk to you and stuff. What do we do? You have visited the accused a number of times already. Could it be you are smuggling in tools one at a time for a jailbreak? Of course not. Besides, you've been watching me like a hawk. Well, then perhaps you are cutting the bars in the visitor's room bit by bit. How on earth would I even do that? With that barbed head of yours, of course. Now this is getting ridiculous. Now it's getting ridiculous? Of course it is. I'm merely having a little fun here. Well, please don't have it at my expense. I'm mentally taxed enough already. My father is a great man with a gentle soul, is he not? Yes, well, we're talking about the same person here? You too could become a man of upstanding character if you learned from his example. Sure. Upstanding character. Him? I care little for that tone of yours. It's as if you do not agree. No, you have it all wrong. Why is my face always such an open book? Very well. Any thoughts about this before I go to bed? Do not flaunt that strap before me. You know, I got the feeling you really want this for yourself, your benevolence. What? You nincompoop! You know not of what you speak! I desired it so dearly that I had all of our retainers dispatch multiple postcards for it! All right, then. It seems really want was an understatement. I actually gotta feel bad for her about that. I mean, chances are she's,
not been told no very much in her life. But I guess there's a first time for everything. Ah, well, I better hit the sack so you can leave me alone now. May 10th, Temple. It's getting late. Won't be long till sundown.
Mr. Wright, your benevolence! Are you done with your investigation for today?
Pretty much. I thought I'd go over what I've learned so far. Care to join me?
Yes! Please allow me to help!
Okay. First, we know that the High Priest received a warning. We're just going to do this outside, not even going to go sit down or anything. First, we know that the High Priest received a warning 3 days ago. Oh, 3 days ago? I didn't remember them saying that. Huh. She must have said that, Beh'leeb. It was from someone claiming to be Lady Kee'ra, and it told him not to perform the rite.
That's right! It was that rebel hunter. But what of it?
That's what I'm not sure of yet. Why would Lady Kee'ra want to stop the rite?
If you could solve that mystery...
Right, I could figure out her motive for threatening the High Priest. It might be the break I need, but I just don't know enough right now to act on that lead.
How unfortunate for you, Barbed Head. Your only hope is pure speculation. That shall not stand up in the Hall of Justice.
It's worked before.
You have no actual proof of Lady Kee'ra's involvement in this crime, after all.
Yeah, the warning letter alone can't prove who killed the High Priest.
I'll give you one last chance to withdraw before you are charged under the DC Act. Your benevolence! While it is true you did not forge or suppress any evidence, that is perhaps a product of my careful monitoring of your every move.
I wasn't planning to do anything like that in the first place, Your Benevolence. But I am going to prove Maya's innocence, within the confines of the law.
How can you be so sure you will?
Because of my undying faith in my clients. That is a lawyer's greatest weapon.
What nonsense. You've chosen to dig your own grave. When next we meet, it shall be in the Hall of Justice.
So you're gonna leave me alone? Oh, good.
As Royal Priestess, it is my duty to reveal the truth through the divination seance. This time, I will prove that the insights I glean thereof are the very truth itself. Prepare yourself, for this shall be your last trial, and your last rites. Tomorrow shall end with you under the headsman's axe! You're gonna use an axe? Oh no!
Tomorrow, I'll be defending Maya in that so-called Hall of Justice again. Man, Phoenix must really need like a therapist. All of our heroes must in this game. Oh, well, we've got Athena now, I guess. But even she probably needs one too. That whole seance thing makes trials here completely different from those back home. Plus, I don't have a shred of conclusive evidence. On the other hand, I've got plenty of confusion and anxiety to spare. I don't know, you've got a lot of mysteries, which is usually helpful, because it means there are questions to ask. I'll have to think of something. After all, I'm the only lawyer in all of Khura'In. I have to do this. I will do this! I'll prove Maya's innocence if it's the last thing I do! I believe in you, Phoenix. I never haven't. To be continued. And indeed, that's the case for this series right now as well, because that is all the time we have for right now. Thank you so very much for coming around to this episode of Spirit of Justice, though. Next video on the channel is going to be some more Five and Three Houses Are Verdant Assassins only run, and I have no more to say because I want to get into recording the next episode. Thank you so very much for coming around. Hopefully I'll see you around. Admiral's got to be out of here now. Peace! He is safe this turn. Happy's going to tank this, which unfortunately I've kind of forced myself into doing this little pod of 3 here. The boss won't come after us, but that's alright. So that's alright, rather. If I trust Marianne to hit the 11 sword on this one, then I can move Hoppy out of the way.